Hello, welcome to Friday's Talkback podcast, which will hopefully end your week with a bit of a laugh. The funniest thing I've heard in a long time, only in Ireland. I haven't laughed as much in weeks. A light in the midst of all the dim news issues. Those are just some of the texts that came in after this story, or should I say, this EFFIN story. No, I'm not forgotten, I'm on air. Anne-Marie Kennedy from County Limerick has launched a campaign to get her hometown recognised on Facebook. Surely listing the place you're from on your profile shouldn't be a problem. Well, it is if it's a town called EFFIN. The social networking site apparently finds the name offensive, and I spoke to Anne-Marie about this.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Could you believe this?
I didn't expect to be speaking to so many people today about EFFIN.
I bet, but we couldn't resist it.
I know.
So
well, I'm so used to the name because I grew up with it, but everyone else finds it very funny. So we're used to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're all kind of reasonably grown up, but we were all laughing, I must say. I mean, is that what happens when people say to you, "Where are you from?"
Yes.
All the time.
Some people would never. I never realised. They never realised that there is a place called EFFIN, because I have a camper van, a Volkswagen camper van, and when I first met up with the group, and they said, "Where are you from?" and I said, "I'm from EFFIN," and they said, "Oh, that's hilarious." They couldn't stop laughing, and they said, "We have to go to EFFIN and have an EFFIN camping weekend." And and when they came, they visited the EFFIN church and the EFFIN graveyard and the EFFIN hall, and they saw the signs with EFFIN on them, and had
their photographs taken and all that kind of thing.
They got photographs taken in front of the EFFIN sign and everything. So
it's like all those people who have their photograph taken in front of the sign for that place Condom in France.
Right.
Here am I, and here's the sign. Noel McBride, of course, knows all about EFFIN. He's in our Foyle studio. Anne-Marie, I don't think you've come across him yet, but
no.
Noel, Noel's made part of his life's work out of EFFIN. Hello, Noel.
Hello, Wendy. How are you?
I'm great, thanks very much. Anne-Marie's saying hello too.
Hello, Anne-Marie. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Limerick, nice spot.
Tell Anne-Marie why it is that you know EFFIN so well. You've got a real thing about it.
Well, believe it or not, we have a place too that's not too far away from here. Nannyshown, believe it or not, it's called B-O-C-A-N. It's pronounced Bocken. We have a Bocken dance team, a Bocken dance hall, we have a Bocken football team, we have a Bocken snooker team, and I've heard about EFFIN, and I know there is such a place down there called EFFIN, and I just picture the scene if those two teams ever met each other. A faraway team from up here called Bocken had to meet your team down there called EFFIN. Could you picture that?
Well, our hurling team will actually be meeting a team from the north in a cup at the end of January.
Well, could you picture those two teams meeting and the late, great Michael O'Hare tried to do the commentary in that one?
That would be brilliant,
Something
wouldn't it?
like this here. It lasts about a minute. Good evening. Welcome to today's semi-final between EFFIN and Bocken. The match is being played here in this big EFFIN stadium. At the moment, the EFFIN pipe band are on the field, and they're being booed off by all the Bocken supporters who have come here in a big Bocken double-decker bus. The manager of the EFFIN team is John J. O'Leary. He is a part-time EFFIN butcher, and in a few moments' time the ball will be thrown in by the EFFIN bishop, or the Bishop of EFFIN, who is sitting beside the Bocken mayor's wife. All leave has been cancelled for all the EFFIN Garda. And now the match has started. John O'Driscoll, the Bocken full forward. He's gone through the 70-yard, the 50, the 60. He's in the penalty area. In the first minute, he's been tripped by an EFFIN defender. It is a Bocken penalty. Who will take the Bocken penalty? Liam O'Leary puts a ball down, kicks it high over the EFFIN bar. And now all the EFFIN and Bocken players are fighting and arguing. And the referee has abandoned the match because the language is a disgrace to football.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. Oh, that's terrific. Thank you so much. We had, after Jerry and I were talking at 11, actually, with Seamus McLean on the line, and he has a poem, I think, that he is going to read for us very quickly while we still all have a job. Hopefully we'll keep the fingers crossed. Seamus, hello there.
Hello, Wendy. How are you?
I'm great, thanks very much. Whiz through a bit of it for us.
Well, okay, this is by Matt McGinn about EFFIN. He says, they kept bees in the old town of EFFIN. An EFFIN beekeeper was he. And one day, this EFFIN beekeeper got stung by a big EFFIN bee. Now, this big EFFIN beekeeper's wee EFFIN wife for the big EFFIN policeman ran. For there's no one can handle a big EFFIN bee like a big EFFIN policeman can. Now, the big EFFIN policeman, he lost the rag and ran down the main EFFIN street. In his hand was a big EFFIN truncheon, and he had big effing boots on his feet. Now the police got hold of the big effing bee and twisted the bee by the wings, but this big effing bee got his own back, because this big effing bee had 2 stings. Now they're both in the effing museum, and effing people come all days to see the remains of the big effing policeman stung to death by a big effing bee.
That was today's Talkback podcast. If you want to get in touch before Monday, 903382555 is the comment line number. You can send an email to talk.back@bbc.co.uk or follow us on Twitter. Have a nice weekend. As much in